We'll take a break now, but when we return, we'll explore the critical subjects of child prostitution and drug addiction. Stay with us. No one would dispute that the sexual exploitation of children is by far the most heinous of crimes. Yet, ironically, in many countries of the developing world, this practice continues to thrive. Betrayed by the societies they live in, our next story examines the plight of many children in Asia's cities who are abused and mistreated for monetary gain.
Pu Chong is 8 years old. He's just quit his job as a prostitute. Business was quite good for the last 2 years, he says. But now that he has syphilis, and perhaps even HIV, it's time to give it up. No one forced Pu Chong to sell his body. He had a choice between staying at home to endure abuse and neglect, or begging and peddling drugs in the city.
Traded for television sets, abused by parents, relatives and friends, kept in bondage for prostitution and pornography, trafficked by criminals, or forced by circumstance to sell their bodies, millions of children continue to have their fundamental rights violated. For a pittance, they are stripped of their most precious possessions, their self-esteem, their pride, their innocence, trust and childhood. Perhaps as many as 10 million children between 5 and 18 years of age are used for sex worldwide. A vast number of them are in Asia. Almost 1 million are in Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and southern China.
If we look at these victims, they are largely from the dysfunctional families and also school dropouts and poor neighborhoods, which indicates that we need to approach this problem more, comprehensively.
Many of the children who are forced into prostitution by people or by circumstance usually come from poorer families. The marketplace always stands ready with its network of pimps and other criminals to take advantage of families and communities in crisis.
My mother is in prison for 20 years for selling heroin. I am having a rough time. I have to trade my body for money. I do anything for money.
I left home. I have no place to stay, so I come here to make some money.
In economies that thrive on the tourism industry, the commercial sexual exploitation of children is usually more evident. From brothel owners and tour guides to taxi drivers and even parents, there is always an excuse to take advantage of children. Child prostitution has become a highly organized and lucrative criminal activity. Closely linked to child prostitution rings, child pornography too is big business. Now thousands of images of children are being relayed across the world by pedophile groups in a new form of exploitation that utilizes the internet. Having to live out the rest of their lives with the pain of their nightmarish memories or a sexually transmitted disease, children of abuse often live in a state of perpetual trauma.
There's no one for me. When I have a problem, I keep it in my heart.
I'm very upset with myself. What kind of girl have I become?
I can't stand the person I have become. I am hurt and my heart aches. But I have to do this.
Most of the time I sniff glue and also take amphetamines.
Many of the sex workers that become infected with HIV suddenly find themselves without a means of livelihood and shunned by society at large. While Western medicine holds out little hope in combating the dreaded disease, traditional healers still give them hope. In an effort to combat the problem, governments, NGOs, and child rights groups in the region are working on programs to rehabilitate those in the sex trade, while also attempting to prevent more children from falling victim to it. Prevention goes as far as improving irrigation in farming areas. It is also making sure that children, especially girls, are given a proper education. Several centers in the region run vocational training programs to prepare the girls in their care to take up jobs when they are ready. While on the legal front, many countries have strengthened national legislation and policies to facilitate the prosecution of offenders.
So the new law is that we decriminalize the children, particularly the children, and the prostitutes themselves, and increase the penalty for the pimps, the proprietors, and it's the first time that we also include the parents.
When it comes down to it, though, stopping the exploitation of children calls for each of us to take responsibility, to do more than just acknowledge that it is a crime. It does not matter how many children we are talking about. One is too many.